I killed the jump dash! It's dead! Wow! Hello, welcome to my TED Talk. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe. In Sonic Adventure 1, the homing attack and jump dash were added into a Sonic game for the first time ever. Excluding the other first times these abilities were added. The homing attack was added to make hitting enemies easier in 3D. And as a result of the homing attack being added, they also added a jump dash, which would basically just propel you forward when you weren't locked onto anything to homing attack onto. Because, having some completely unrelated to the homing attack ability be mapped to the same button as the homing attack would be weird and jarring and stuff. Which is why 12 years later, Sega removed the jump dash in favor of a small double jump, while also still keeping the homing attack bound to the same button. So now that you're up to speed, it's time to talk about which was better, the jump dash or the double jump. It's the jump dash, thanks for watching. Okay, I'm kidding-ish. There is more to talk about, but first, I need to tell you that I'm sponsored by being alive, meaning I don't like death. Meaning I'm going out to try and find who murdered the jump dash, because, ever since Colors, ignoring generations, the jump dash has been replaced by the double jump. That seems normal, but I have always wanted to go in there, so I'm just gonna... Oh, it's locked. So first I guess I should actually try and find out what game the jump dash was the best in. I mean, I am a Sonic fan after all. Sonic fans usually have to only look at the best in Sonic media to actually stay fans of Sonic. So let's start with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. They're jump dashes. They feel nice, but it's not amazing, you know? Like, the way the jump dash handles doesn't really stick out to me as, wow, this is really nice feeling. It has this kind of downward arc to it that makes it not feel too stiff or floaty, but also doesn't make it feel too heavy. Again, it doesn't stick out as feeling super nice, but it doesn't stick out as bad either. I'd say these games, like for the rest of 3D Sonic as a whole, set the standard for jump dashes. Wow, I'm already having second guesses about this video. The way I'm talking about such a minor thing in these games is gonna have people think I'm either nitpicking or I'm crazy. The second one is the correct answer. I'm crazy. Crazy is the correct answer. Sonic Heroes has the same idea as Adventure when it comes to the jump dash, but there's some small changes here that make it feel a lot nicer. It feels less powerful, for lack of a better word, but for platforming, this thing is so nice. This jump dash propels you forward for a longer time than Adventure does. And I also just feel like I have more control over this jump dash than I do in Adventure. It's far better for not only crossing gaps, but also kind of for correcting jumps. As when you do quick turns while jump dashing, you do slow down, making it so you don't overshoot or immediately slide off of something. This is something present in Adventure 1 and 2, but here the jump dash is a bit floatier, making it easier to actually use the jump dash to correct jumps a bit more, along with making it easier to cross gaps. It's certainly a different kind of jump correction than a double jump is, and it certainly isn't as good for correcting jumps as a double jump would be, but it more than gets the job done here. For a game with really slippery controls, the jump dash here actually feels fairly precise. Sonic 2006. Do I really need to? It just propels you straight forward at a low speed in the direction you're facing for a second before killing all of your speed and letting you fall to the ground. It feels bad. The most I can give it is that it gives you good air control when turning and such, but it doesn't really help much when you don't slow down when quickly turning or anything. Sonic Unleashed. In this game is where I start to have some things to say. Like, okay, first the jump dash here is meh. It feels better than 06, but it's way too horizontally and vertically stiff with almost zero air control, and it's way too powerful for how stiff it is. I get this as a boost game, but still give me some control over it. I never use this thing to help me with platforming, both because of what I talked about, but also because the jump dash is bound to not the jump button, but the X button, along with the homing attack. Now this isn't exactly a bad thing, I think. Well, ignoring the whole air boost being on the same button thing, but I'm gonna ignore that for now. Now this is confusing and off-putting if you've played any of the previous games, but however it still is consistent. X when locked on homing attacks, and X when not locked on does a similar move, the jump dash. Now what's the reason for the jump dash being on the X button? There has to be another air move bound to the A button, right? Well, you see, pressing A in the air does nothing. Now usually this would be the part where I talk about why this is kind of significant to this video's topic, but for the sake of keeping the video structure at least somewhat consistent for once, I'm gonna ignore that for now and talk about it later. Sonic Generations is blah. Look, in the context of the game it's in, it's far better than 06 and Unleashed. It's not too powerful and it helps with platforming, even if it's very bare bones in how it helps with platforming. But this feels worse than even 06's jump dash. It's kind of the same as Unleash, completely stiff and doesn't let you control it at all, but feels so weak. The actual dash is super slow and doesn't even have a downward arc. And then, when the dash is done, you just start falling, all speed gone. Again, it's good in the context of the game it's in, but it just kind of feels bad to use, you know? So those were all the jump dashes I could think of, and honestly, I thought there'd be more to talk about. I mean, that was a good insert amount of time that I've been talking here, but I don't know. It's such a core part of Sonic's moveset, I thought there'd be more games and variations to look at. Anyways, after looking at all those jump dashes, the best one definitely has to be Sonic Heroes' version because of how it... actually, maybe I shouldn't repeat what I just said a few minutes ago. You've watched through the video up to this point, you already know why I like Sonic Heroes' jump dash. Well, that's not working. Why is this not working? Oh. Oh, yikes. Hey! Did you kill this jump dash? Did you kill Sonic Jump Dash? So I think it's time I start talking about the double jumps. Starting off with Sonic Colors, which... it's kind of the same deal as Sonic Adventure, except less nice feeling. It doesn't feel bad, but it gets the job done. Although it is annoying how the double jump and homing attack are on the same button, since they feel like two different moves entirely. Sometimes I'll try to double jump somewhere and instead I'll just homing attack something. To be fair, in Colors, which is such a simple game, it's not a big deal, but still. Another kind of interesting thing I noticed is that you can instantly reorient yourself in midair by using the double jump, both in 2D and 3D. It's probably like this just because of the amount of 2D in this game. Not a bad thing, just something interesting I noticed. Again, much like Sonic Adventure 1, it kinda set the standard for double jumps in Sonic going forward. Again, not bad, but not good. It's alright, it's fine. It gets the job done. Sonic Lost World's double jump is both better and worse in Colors. Better in that double jumping and reorienting yourself feels a lot better, even if it kills your speed a lot more. But also worse because for some reason Sonic uncurls from his ball state, so double jumping leaves you open to every enemy to ever exist in this game. And Lost World being more platforming heavy than Colors means that the double jump being bound to the same button as a homing attack becomes a lot more annoying here, and okay, maybe this isn't better at all actually. This is actually just worse than Colors double jump, I lied earlier. Sonic Boom has a double jump, I think. I can't really check since I don't own the game, unless you count this. I don't even need to talk about Sonic Boom. It's barely even a Sonic game at all. Now on to Sonic Forces, which, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine for a game where you, move forward. But sometimes there is platforming, and when you do encounter it, you're better off just not using this thing. It does not instantly, or heck, even quickly reorient you. The best you can do at higher speeds is to stop yourself sometimes. Only at the lowest of speeds can you make yourself go in the opposite direction. This thing is only ever useful for making sure you don't overshoot jumps, and even then it's not good at doing that. And that's all not even mentioning the homing attack and double jump being bound to the same button again, and... Okay, never mind. I won't go on and riff on this game's double jump even more than I already have. I'm gonna have people being like, oh my god, another person still criticizing Forces, and you know what? Fair enough. I can see how 5 years with no mainline game and just Forces hating has gotten to people. God, I'm realizing there's not really much variation in double jumps when compared to jump dashes. You either jump again and it feels bad, or you jump again and it feels good. Huh. Sonic Frontiers has the same thing, again. But with some differences. First, you can reorient yourself again, kinda. It's way easier to reorient yourself than it is in Forces, but it uses the jump's turn arc to do so. So you don't start going in the direction you want to go in, you have to rotate in the right direction. It's fine, but not exactly great. Sometimes it's an instant reorientation if you're jumping into the completely opposite direction, but that's not super often. Sonic Frontiers does another thing with the double jump though, by leaving it the same. And by instead changing the button used to homing attack. Yes! You can finally double jump whenever you want without having to worry about a completely unrelated move getting in the way. It really should have been like this since Colors. You know, I haven't really been very funny during this whole double jump segment. It's just been all of me saying it's fine. God, that's how you know something's wrong. When someone just says it's fine 15 times. No? That wasn't funny? Just sad? Oh. Why does everyone always look at me weird whenever I talk about Sonic? It's just a fast blue hedgehog. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But still, just answer me. Did you murder this jump? I hope that doesn't, cause any issues later. Alright, so, I think I figured out the best versions of both of these moves now. The best jump dash for sure has to be from Heroes, and the best double jump has to be I don't know, Sonic Colors' jump dash? It's precise enough for platforming even if it is a bit too short. Alright, so, first things first, jump dash pros and cons, let's go. Pro, the jump dash helps keep up the speed from a standstill or from slower speeds. Pro, the move fits in with the rest of Sonic's speed-based kit, especially when taking into account how it's bound to the same button as the homing attack. Pro, you have the freedom to stop yourself and not overshoot anything. Con, the move is far more unforgiving and gives you little second chances. Con, doesn't help with vertical platforming at all. No height is gained. Alright, now time for the double jumps pros and cons. Pro, helps correct jumps better. Pro, helps with vertical platforming more. Pro, easier to use. Con, feels weird when bound to the same button as the homing attack. Con, the reorientation feels very weird, especially in 3D. Con, the double jump kills most of your speed. Con, is most useful in gameplay situations that aren't very Sonic-like. So, yeah, that was that. Yeah, sorry double jump fans, but, it's just not very good for a Sonic game. It doesn't fit in at all to the speed-based gameplay compared to the jump dash, is what I would say if I didn't make this community post. Well, okay, the poll results are very much in favor of a jump dash, but the comments say otherwise. There are a few comments here that talk about how and why they would prefer a double jump in Sonic games. And y'all, I'm starting to prefer the idea of a double jump myself. This comment talks about how a reliable double jump lets you have a second chance and be more reckless. Which, let's be honest, even if you don't know the layout of a level, being recklessly fast in a Sonic game is far more fun than taking it slow. Punishing that type of gameplay less in a Sonic game would be great. And yeah, while you can make sure you don't overshoot platforms with the jump dash, it's far easier and more reliable to do with the double jump. So, okay, let's just scrap that entire last part of the video and craft our own Sonic double jump. 1. The double jump should have the possibility to go at least a bit higher than it currently does at the cost of speed. 2. Let the player reorient themselves out of a double jump instantly, or at least quickly. If this thing doesn't let you reorient your jumps, then it's near impossible to actually use it to correct your jumps. Heck, maybe even go the Frontiers route and use turning for that. If you make the turning quicker while also making it so quick turns slow you down more, so like, you know, add actual physics, the double jump would be far more reliable. 3. I don't know what else to add here. Yeah, double jumps are still kind of hard to talk about in depth, but I think these two changes would make the double jump a far more worthwhile addition. So yeah, that's it. Double jump wins again is what I would be saying if I wasn't lying again. I am so sorry for lying to you twice in a row. I'll stop now. There is also a portion of people in the comments saying, both? Both? Yeah, why didn't I even think of that? Why not just have both? I mean, the homing attack in Frontiers and Unleash is bound to the X button. In Frontiers' case, leaving an airbound X press to be empty. Free to use for an added ability. And in Unleashed's case, I don't even need to say anything. The jump dash already is on the X button. Only there's a second A press in midair that does nothing. Why can't there just be a double jump tied to an extra A press, and a jump dash tied to an airborne X press? Okay, well, to be fair, this might make the control scheme way too cluttered. I think it'd be fine, but I also do have to be honest and say that I'm not entirely sure how good it'd feel when actually implemented into a playable game. But conceptually at least, I think having both a jump dash and a double jump would be ideal and would work great. Well, you know, it would be great if the jump dash, wasn't dead. I wonder if whoever I saw in that building and let out into the outside world without thinking actually had anything to do with it. Well, thanks for watching, I suppose. I'm just gonna put this here.